Okay, so I've been using the iPhone 17 Pro for a few weeks now, and Apple just released these new cases called TechWoven. And I'll be honest, when I saw them first, I kind of rolled my eyes. Like, do we really need another Apple case? Especially after that whole fine woven situation last year that didn't exactly get the best reviews. But curiosity got me and I decided to pick one up, actually a few, to see if Apple finally nailed it this time. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what I noticed after a week of using the TechWoven case with my iPhone 17 Pro, the good, the bad, and whether it's actually worth buying. The first thing I noticed right out of the box was how different it felt. Apple's been talking a lot about sustainability lately, and you can tell this case is a part of that story. It's made from a kind of woven fabric, not leather, not silicone. It's like a soft structured textile with this subtle pattern that catches the light. When you touch it, it feels premium, not slippery like some of their older cases and not sticky like the silicone either. It's somewhere in between with just enough grip that you don't feel like your phone's going to slide off the table every time you put it down. I went with the sienna color first, which is this really pretty brownish orange, kind of warm and cozy. And I'll be honest, when I saw it online, I wasn't sure, but in person, it looks gorgeous. So the TechWoven cases come in 5 colors: black, green, purple, sienna, and blue. And Apple, for once, didn't make the colors too safe. The black is classic, it'll match literally everything. The green has a subtle earthy tone, kind of like olive with a little gray. The purple one's surprisingly elegant. It's not bright, it's more muted, kind of lavender meets graphite. Sienna, like I mentioned, feels like a fall in a color. And the blue, honestly might be my favorite, is rich and calm without being too loud. Okay, let's talk about fit, because if you've ever bought a random third-party case, you know how bad a sloppy fit can feel. It snaps onto the iPhone 17 Pro like it was made for it, which obviously it was. The edges line up cleanly with the buttons, the camera cutout is perfectly centered, and everything feels secure. It's slightly thicker than Apple's old fine woven case, but in a good way. It feels more protective and solid. And it doesn't add much weight, and it still slides easily into a pocket or a backpack. The texture helps with grip, but what I love most is that it doesn't collect fingerprints like silicone cases. If you've ever had one of those cases that just look dirty after 2 days, yeah, it's not that. After using it for a week, I realized something. The best cases are the ones you stop thinking about. And that's kind of what this one became for me. It just works. It protects the phone without feeling bulky, and it looks good without screaming for attention. The buttons feel tactile, which is something that's always hit or miss on Apple cases. Here the buttons are slightly metallic and clicky, and you cannot stop pressing them. Of course, it has full MagSafe compatibility. That little magnetic circle on the back locks perfectly with my charger and wallet. I've been using it on my MagSafe stand every night and had zero issues with alignment or slipping. So the big question, how does it hold up? Apple's last fabric style case, the fine woven, was not great. It looked beautiful on day one, but after a week it showed scratches, stained, and it just didn't age well for most users. The TechWoven is way better. The texture feels tighter and more durable, like it could actually handle daily life. I threw it in my backpack a few times, set it on rough tabletops, and even got a little bit of water on it once. It still looks basically new. You might see a bit of wear over time, it's still a soft material, but it feels more like a high-end fabric that'll develop character, not fall apart. I think Apple finally learned from the feedback last year, and this feels like a genuine improvement. As I said, I've been using it for a week now, and it has protected my iPhone 17 Pro quite well, and the case itself shows hardly any or rather no signs of wear. It's perfect for the iPhone. There's a slight lip around the screen and camera bump, or on its back. The screen is protected and doesn't touch the surface. And because of the grippy fabric texture, I actually found myself dropping it less, which is kind of the point, right? So it's not an OtterBox, but it's not flimsy either. It's a nice middle ground protection with style. One thing about Apple's marketing photos, the colors almost never look exactly like they do in person. So if you're trying to decide which one to get, here's how I describe them in real life. The black is simple, timeless, minimal. If you don't like attention, this is it. The green looks way better in person. It's kind of like a forest green with a hint of gray. The purple, surprisingly versatile. It looks sophisticated and not girly purple. Sienna, warm, cozy, a little bit vintage. Think fall outfit vibes. And the blue, clean, slightly muted navy tone goes with basically everything. If I had to pick one to recommend, I'd say blue or green. They're unique but still wearable year-round. So a few random observations that stood out over the week. The case is surprisingly easy to clean. If you get a fingerprint or a smudge, just wipe it with a dry cloth. It doesn't soak up dirt like older fabric cases. The texture feels nice when you're holding the phone during long calls or watching videos. It's not cold or slick. It looks more expensive than it actually is. I know Apple's accessories are never cheap, but this one actually kind of feels worth it. The camera ring doesn't get in the way at all, it's flush and doesn't reflect flash weirdly like some third-party cases do. They are small details, but they add up. It's one of those products where the more you use it, the more you appreciate the design choices. So is it worth it? At the end of the day, it's still a phone case, but I must honestly say that the price value proposition is not that great because of its $59 price tag. There are actually other third-party cases that cost maybe less than half of this, and they also fit perfectly and protect your iPhone very well while looking good. But here's the thing, the iPhone 70 Pro is one of the most premium phones out there, so it kind of deserves a case that matches the same level of design and quality. If you're the kind of person who likes things that look and feel good, you'll probably love the TechWoven case. If you want pure or simple protection and don't care about aesthetics, there are cheaper and tougher options. Although there are some really good looking cases for less money. But for most people, this is the sweet spot. Stylish, functional, and genuinely enjoyable to use. After a week, I can say it's staying on my iPhone for now, and that's not something I've said about every Apple case. So do I think Apple redeemed themselves with this case? Yeah, I really do. The TechWoven case feels like what the fine woven should have been. Premium, durable, and thoughtful. The texture is beautiful and the colors are tasteful, and it feels like an accessory that actually adds to the iPhone rather than just protecting it. It's not perfect, of course, it'll probably show a little wear over time, but that just makes it feel more lived in. If you've been debating whether to buy it, I would say you can go for it if the price doesn't bother you. Especially if you already have the iPhone 70 Pro, it's a really nice match. And if you do get one, let me know which color you go for. I'm kind of obsessed with hearing people's color choices. Alright, that's it for this one. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and hype, and subscribe for more Apple and lifestyle tech reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.